Say good evening, ladies and gentlemen. What a state of flux we are in. We have some states that are opening up and business is going back to usual. We have other states that are opening very cautiously and opening up a little bit at a time. And then we have states that are still completely locked down and not very much is opened. And unfortunately, from our home base, we're coming from one of those states where we're really locked down and not a whole lot's going on. So, in order to keep everybody in compliance with the law and safe from any perceived harm, we are doing this episode in quarantine mode. So we're doing it from remote location. I am remote and not in the studio. This is actually my home office. You could maybe see my editing suite a little bit behind me. And over this shoulder, you can see a really neat picture of Godzilla, King of the Monsters. That was a Christmas present. And over this shoulder, you can see a original piece of artwork there from James Bond. That was a birthday present. So this is just a section of the office that I work in every day. And it's a good thing that the office is here because even though some states are closed, some states are partially open, and some states are fully open, one thing that hasn't stopped is the veritable plethora of movies that are being released for your enjoyment. And all of the movies that I am talking to you about tonight are movies that you can acquire through either VOD, home video, or enjoy on your streaming devices. So whether you are completely locked down, completely open, or anything in between, you will be able to watch all of these movies in the safety and the comfort of your own home. And I have a bevy of them for you tonight as cinematic class is about to begin. Your professor is in. Say good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome officially to the show. I am your cinematic professor and the purveyor of truth in movies. For those of you keeping track at home, this is officially show number 586. Yes, that's how many of these shows that we've done since we started all the way back in 1988. So we've been traveling along at a pretty good pace. And the pace, believe it or not, has quickened during this outbreak of the Wuhan virus because more movies are being released now than ever. Since the big Hollywood studios decided to delay everything, the independent studios jumped on the occasion and said, this is our chance to come out. We're going to fly and we're going to go. And it's benefited a lot of people and a lot of movie makers and even a lot of movie stars. And one of those stars is Robert Bronzi. Now, you may not readily have heard of him, but he has put out a series of movies, and he has done so with director Rene Perez. And these two hooked up some time ago, and they started cranking out movies one after another in very rapid succession. Bronzi is a Hungarian actor, and he is the spitting image of Charles Bronson. Some of you youngins might not quite remember Charles Bronson. He was the original mechanic before Jason Statham came along. But for those my generation and older, wow, Charlie Bronson was one of the action guys back in the day. And his movies were an awful lot of fun. This guy looks just like him. I mean, he's got the same facial expressions, the same mannerisms, everything. Apparently, when he realized he had such a similarity to Charlie Bronson, he tried his luck at the acting game. And wow, Perez saw him and said, hey, we can make this go. So His latest in a series of movies is called Cry Havoc. You know, this one I had an awful lot of fun with, I got to tell you. It's a little weird seeing Bronzy in a because it's too much Charlie Bronson. So that's a little, it takes you off guard a little bit. But the movie is an awful lot of fun. They have a really good villain in this movie who is, one of these indestructible villains. The problem I had with it was its ending. It was so abrupt. It was, good guy, bad guy here, end credits. Wow, what happened? A lot of action, some pretty good gore scenes. If you haven't seen any of his movies yet, this may be a good one to start you out. Robert Bronzy in Cry Havoc.
I want to congratulate you all for being chosen for Terror Mountain. It is the ultimate horror reality TV show.
Hey, do you know Mrs. Wallace?
No. If you want to interview my client, you will follow his instructions.
Whoever wins the show gets the $1 million cash prize.
He expects you to dress for the occasion.
Havoc is occupied.
His identity is shrouded in such mystery, he's only known to law enforcement agencies as the Voyeur.
About a decade ago, I found myself in a prison cell.
What kind of a cop are you?
As soon as my lawyer got me out of prison, I went right back, bribed the warden to release prisoner number AYO 886 into my custody. Please, have a seat. I used to be afraid of death, but now, with Havoc, I control death.
One of the other elements, if you will, that are popping up and trying to grab the limelight during this Hollywood quarantine are certain streaming devices. And I've gotten tags on a few of them. I want to tell you about one of them, at least in this episode. And it's a little thing called Soul City. Now, what they've done with Soul City is they have taken stories, and these stories have a supernatural, sometimes horror, mien to them, and they've made little vignettes out of them. So each episode is roughly about 15 minutes long. The neat thing is that all of the episodes center around a central character who is a cab driver. And this cab driver appears in everything, whether it's in modern day, back in the day, whatever. This one character is always still there. He's kind of like your guide, I guess, through the bizarre and the macabre. It's kind of an interesting thing. It all centers around New Orleans, or as they say in Louisiana, Nowlands, and especially around the black society, the black culture down there. There's 10 episodes in season 1, and they didn't send me all 10. They only sent me the first 3. But I really enjoyed watching these. They were kind of cute. If you remember, way back in the day, Rod Serling had a show called Night Gallery. And in 1 hour span, he would put in anywhere from 2 to 5 stories, depending on the length. Think of that, but think of the individual stories. They're not gathered together in 1 hour long show, but rather presented in a short 15-minute. So if you're looking for, I got to kill a few minutes before I leave, you can pop one of these on and eyeball it before you have to run out and do your daily chores. I don't know. I kind of thought these were neat, and I like the idea of the one character getting through. It's called Soul City. Here's a look.
Upset.
You could say that. Not that it matters much anymore now.
How's that?
Big Mike let me go.
Yeah. I heard a little bit of that. What's wrong with your hand?
Arthritis, carpal tunnel, some that. Maybe all of that.
I know somebody that can help you with that.
Can't afford no doctors, man.
This ain't no regular doctor.
What you mean?
Come here. Easy. Whoa, hold tight. Hold tight. All right. There you go. Hey. Easy. Salmon. All right. Oh. You. There you go. Easy. There you go. He gonna take you where you need to go.
But he not coming?
No. I'm gonna catch up. You in good hands? The fuck? Oh, okay. Take him there.
You know, ladies and gentlemen, there is something called a slump. And a lot of people experience a slump in their professional careers. Now, usually slumps are most associated with professional athletes. You know, somebody who normally can, come up to the plate and really get the job done, suddenly loses game and, wow, nothing's working right, But it happens in every profession, not just athletes. It happens in, business profession, whatever profession. It happens to you when you get a slump. There are two theories to this. One is that, you take some time off, sit the player on the bench, let him get his head back together again, find his game, and then throw him back out. The other is that you keep him in the game and you let him play through the slump so that when it breaks, he's set and ready to go. Well, it happens with film critics too. Yeah, you might not think so. You might think, oh, what a cushy job, sit and watch movies all day and then write words of wisdom about it. Well, man, I hit a slump. I gotta tell you. And you know what? I tried to plow through the slump. I really did, But it's like quicksand. I saw the one movie and I went, oh my God, this is terrible. So I immediately grabbed another movie and thought, wow, it was just as bad. Well, wait, let's grab another one because, certainly we can't have three in a row. Nah, he can't go down with 3 barrels on him. Yeah, I did. I hit a slump of 4 movies in a row. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I can't even begin to tell you how absolutely horrendous these movies were. Okay? Now, it's tough to find good entertainment depending on the state you're in and how much you're closed down. Okay? But for those of us who are on partial or full lockdown, and that's the majority, it's difficult to find something to help pass the time away. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the trailers for these films because the trailers make them look a hell of a lot better than they actually are. But I've got to tell you up front, all these movies had me banging my head off of the wall. I'm happy to report that the slump is over because I found 2 really good movies. And I'll tell you about those after you watch it.
Make the right decisions, this will all be over before you know it.
A bank robbery has left 3 dead, with 2 remaining suspects still at large.
Who brings you out to the beach?
We're just passing through.
If you scream, I will shut you up permanently.
She's not just some lost puppy that followed us home. We gotta take care of this. I'm not the only person seeing things right now.
Mine started when I met you guys.
Ours started when we met you.
We get our passports, get on the plane, and we walk away.
You're on watch tonight. What is there left to watch?
Well, what are your instructions?
Did you step out last night?
I was here all night. You were dreaming.
Someone took something out of our room that didn't belong there?
Maybe if you lost it, you never really meant to have it.
It was like she was possessed.
He did it. Just tell me he did it. This is our gift to you.
Here?
Either at the camera or you can look at me if you'd like.
All right.
Welcome, cast. I'm Hillard May, the creator and producer of Solitary Confinement. Now, the whole idea of this show is to test your will to go on. You will be filmed 24/7, so everything you do and say will be seen. You will not be freed unless you quit.
It's just a game. It's just a game.
It's not a game.
You're killing me! I don't give a Let me out!
This is Justice Outlaw calling out to Haunted Forest. Is anyone reading me? Over. Looks like the show is about to begin. I guess I'll see you on the other side of Armageddon.
Government officials are calling it the end of the world.
The world has erupted in chaos since the NASA announcement just a short time ago. I speak on behalf of the United States and many other world governments. Now, initially, we had indicated that this object would pass by the Earth, leaving us unharmed. We lied. We're all going to die.
We're okay. You're fine. What are you doing there, Billy?
Looking for the dead, right? Well, we ain't dead.
This is our home. We defend it. You two comfortable with that?
We'd have to.
Yeah. We'd have to.
You've got him in his brains on your hand.
I am so tired of burning bodies.
Did the end of the world just turn us into serial killers?
I found it buried in my garden.
I must say it's in nice condition considering.
Do you think I could get much for it then?
Witchboards. Mumbo jumbo stuff. Best not to play with it though.
Do you believe in curses, man?
Of course I don't believe in curses, and neither should you. It's bloody rubbish. It's just bad luck.
And you really believe that a ghost did that? Do you know how mad that sounds?
You say that there was a spirit board?
Yes, but it's just a toy, isn't it?
Dabbling with such things is no game.
Don't believe it's the devil, do you?
Mrs. Harper, in order to believe in one, you must believe in the other.
Take your time. Tell me everything you remember.
Okay, well, we had been talking about this camping trip for like a few weeks.
14 miles?
You can do it.
Guys, see some anger in the clouds. It's not looking good.
Is that a building?
That's a house, all right. Let's check it out.
There's something wrong with her, okay? She's acting very strange.
First, she finds a necklace, then her eyes turn all weird, and now she digs this book out of a hole. I mean, she's gotta be a little crazy.
Just relax. It's okay. Just get some sleep.
Is she breathing?
I just want to find out what happened to your friends.
Who's there?
You're not gonna find Sophia.
You need to leave.
Okay, I said when I was in a slump that there were 4 movies. If you counted those scenes, there were 5. That's how bad the slump was. I lost control of how many movies I was actually watching. Oh, they were all just, oh my goodness. I'll tell you what, if you want a little bit more about what made those movies as bad as they are, go to the YouTube channel and check that out. And I say a little bit more about those films there. Just if you decide to order those while you're in quarantine, don't say I didn't warn you, and you do so at your own risk. There are, however, a couple of really good movies that you could see, so I fought my way out of that 5-movie slump. And one of the ones I want to tell you about is a movie called Proximity. Oh, folks, this was really, when it first started out, I was a little bit skeptical. I had a hard time with the lead actor in this. I didn't think he was doing the role quite well. But, he grew on me a little bit. He got his co-star in there, and she was doing fine. And that was Heidi Kahn. And I got to tell you, I liked this movie a lot. And it's a sci-fi tale, all right? But it's a different type of sci-fi tale, and it has a really good twist at the end. You're going to like this one. It's called Proximity.
What?
You feel that?
What's your name?
Isaac. Cypress.
So, Isaac, can you tell us what happened that afternoon?
A meteorite with smoke trailing behind it appeared over the skies of Los Angeles yesterday.
Isaac, where you been? You got a minute? I want to show you something.
You're saying this is real? Are you okay?
You believe me, right?
Where have you been for the last few days?
Yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday, day before.
I'm not making this up. This really happened to me.
Okay.
You've been gone from work all week.
Did you have an encounter with an extraterrestrial being?
How does it feel knowing that people are saying that you're a fake?
Hi, Isaac. We have detained you against your will because we believe you have information that may be valuable to the future of our society.
Keep running!
When they come, we get one chance.
Do you think that we were exposed to something that could have changed us?
We have to be there when they come.
That's a bad idea. That's way too dangerous.
Do we really have another choice?
I remember what it was like, and I'm not going through that again.
And after you've enjoyed Proximity, you probably want to check out Arkansas. Boy, this is a movie loaded with a great cast, and the crew behind this has done a great job as well. A plethora of stars. Vince Vaughn is in this. John Malkovich. Liam Hemsworth is in this. It's just Vivica A. Fox, and just a great cast put together, and certainly a great deal of people behind the camera that did their job. Really no good guys in this movie. It's all about drug running in the South, but it's a good tale, and one I think you'll enjoy.
'Cause everything that glitters is not gold. Come on back with the Gatlins.
What a lot of people don't know about organized crime in the South is that it's not that organized.
What's with the cones?
Thought the randomness of it might throw off a cop.
I guess that's smart.
I'm near the bottom rung of an outfit run by a man I've never met before, a man named Frog.
I'm the boss. You may never refuse an order, and you may never quit.
Pat Bright, Park Ranger. I'm with Frog. I've been ordered to intervene. Do not socialize with the locals. Do not draw attention to yourself.
This is creepy.
Do you like creepy?
If you decide to run off, I will hunt you down and I'll kill you.
Am I gonna die?
Most likely.
Would either of you boys like to call me sir? You can if you want. I won't think it's corny.
We're gonna go traffic drugs across state lines, sir.
If you boys catch yourselves starting to complain about boredom, just remember, a bored criminal is a good criminal.
Is this an order from Frog? We've been thinking about streamlining.
You can't do that.
We do a whole bunch we're not supposed to do. Frog don't seem to mind.
It's better to have to look for something to do than have something to do look for you.
You expecting somebody?
You know what's funny? You boys are here just hanging out. Seem a bit suspicious to you?
These two are supposed to be working for me. You're about the worst enemies I've ever had. I never asked for my life to become a great story, but that's what's happening here.
It's not going to end well for you.
If you think you're good enough to outdo a man, that's what you do.
I have a veritable plethora of movies still to talk about, but we're fast running out of time for this quarantined edition of Outtakes. So before we skedaddle out of here, I do want to tell you that there are even some political movies being released during quarantine time. This one is called The Flood, and it's basically the brainchild of Lena Headey. If you guys know Lena Headey as a famous British actress, she has a cause celebrate. That cause is about, immigration. And naturally, she's presenting the side that all immigrants are noble and worthy and no bad guys in there. Of course, the system that for immigration is what's wrong and corrupt. The nice thing about this movie is it's not America's immigration system. No, she turns the tables and looks at Britain and the British Immigration Service, and they take all the heat in this political thriller.
What are you carrying?
Sugar, mate.
Open her up, please. No! Get down on your knees! Down on your knees now! Not done!
They want him fast-tracked. I thought you'd be snowed under this week with the extra cases from Kent.
I think I'm more than capable. You've claimed asylum in the United Kingdom. Can you briefly explain why you cannot return to your home country?
Treason. I broke an order.
What's the punishment for treason?
They will kill me.
You ran across the border.
Across the border, I could not run. When you are trying to cross borders, the only people that will help you are dangerous people.
What I offer is civilized service.
I have to get to England.
England will not want you.
I've always been unwanted.
This isn't a negotiation. You're going to have to come up with an extremely convincing answer if you want to stay.
I have an answer.
Why are you giving the poor guy hope? He's gonna think he's got a case.
Maybe he does. I shouldn't have rejected him in the first place.
Are you okay?
I'm trying to help you.
I have myriad movies to tell you about, but we're fresh out of time. That gives you a very good excuse to come and watch the next episode of Outtakes. Stay safe, stay healthy, now that you have learned what you have learned. Class is dismissed.